Hello there, Internet. I'm going to call this an evaluation dysfunction. Some time ago, the Premature Evaluation for Halo 4 was uploaded here on this very YouTube channel. And in it, site owner John went ahead and gave his initial, review of Halo 4. He gave it a thumbs down. And when I watched it, I said, well, that can't be right, and that was before I played the game. And now, having put quite a lot of time into it, I feel like I have to stand up and defend my lady's honor, and by my lady, I mean Halo 4. So I am here, and I am being joined by my friend Logan. Say hi.
Hi.
And we're actually going to tell you why Halo 4 is not a thumbs down, or as I believe you put it, a big thumbs down, but rather a huge, giant thumbs up. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to address the biggest reason why he said he didn't like the game, and that was because there's a lack of a ranking system. And he really hated that. Halo 3 had a ranking system, but Halo Reach didn't, and as a consequence, Halo 4 doesn't. So what do you think about a lack of a ranking system in Halo 4?
It doesn't really matter if there is one, to me at least.
I agree. I absolutely hated... I thought it was a good idea in Halo 3, but I'll tell you why it was bad. As a casual Halo player, I wanted to play with my brother and a couple friends, and we would play, and I would normally be the worst. And not terrible, but I would always finish at the bottom. And they would literally get mad at me. Like, I had people get mad at me and send me messages over Xbox Live telling me that I'm terrible and I'm shit and I should kill myself because they lost because of me. And there were other times where I lost because of people who were terrible, or in the pregame lobby they shut their Xbox off because you couldn't back out, and I lost because of them, and my ranking goes down. And because of this, it creates this sort of, just ridiculous competitive thing that doesn't really need to be there for regular multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I didn't play Halo 3 multiplayer as much, just because I didn't have a 360 at the time to play it. So once I actually started playing it, like, that attitude kind of died down more.
Yeah. Now, 343 Industries has come out and said that they will be instituting something like a 1 to 50 ranking system that will apparently display next to the current ranking system they have, because a lot of people complained about the lack of the true skilled progression that Halo 3 had. But I don't understand why everyone's all, up 343's ass about it, because Halo Reach, which was made by Bungie, it was made by Bungie, right?
Yes, it was.
Didn't have it either. So what's the big deal? I mean, who cares? Games don't have this anymore. Like, they mentioned that, yes, Black Ops 2 has a ranking system, and StarCraft 2 does as well, but shit, it's a completely different animal. It really doesn't need to be there. It's not really fair for you to play a multiplayer game and then your progression stops because the game has said, well, you're only good enough to be Lieutenant. You're not good enough to advance past that. Enjoy being Lieutenant.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much his main gripe. He also complained that he didn't like that you could join in progress, which is a thing that I don't mind so much. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I don't really mind it at all.
Yeah, there's been only like 1 or 2 times, and I'm like a level 70-something now, so we've both played quite a bit,
yeah.
And there've only been a couple times where I've gone into a match and it was about to end. Sometimes you get put into a match at the beginning, and we get in and we're losing, but end up winning. But it's not fair in the lobby, someone drops out, and that you should now have to play 4-on-2.
Yeah.
Or 5-on-2. Like, that's just not right. Having that open for someone to come in, because there's no ranking system like in Halo 3, it doesn't matter if, someone else jumps in the middle of the match. Who cares if they lose? You're still going to get XP, you're still going to progress, you're still going to get all the unlocks and all the good stuff that comes along with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've compiled a list to give you all the main reasons why Halo 4 is good and the downsides to Halo 4, even though, the game is amazing at this point in time. So why don't you go ahead and pick one and tell me about it?
The armor abilities have actual uses. Like, so, if I'm using a jetpack and I need to, get somewhere quicker, I can just jetpack over there. And sometimes I can use it to get a jump on someone, like coming at them from above, so...
And you love to assassinate people.
I do.
Which, by the way, the new assassinations are amazing.
Yeah.
In Halo Reach, it is rare. Like, once in a while I'll see someone using the armor lock. Once in a while I'll see someone using the cloak. Most everyone uses the jetpack. In Halo 4, because the armor abilities are actually a lot more useful, you're seeing a lot more different ones. I actually am quite partial to the hologram at this point, something I never used in Reach because the maps were so big and open that, if someone fell for it, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
They would just, find you seconds later, but, the game has been designed to make the armor abilities really, really good and useful this time. Another reason is that Halo 4 has, every single weapon that there ever was in a Halo game. I may be wrong on this, but Halo multiplayer has never had wraiths. Is that correct?
No.
Okay. Well, they haven't since... Well, Halo 2 might have had them, but
yeah.
Halo and Halo Reach didn't have them. That's correct, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they didn't have wraiths, didn't have tanks, didn't have the Covenant Sniper, and the Fuel Rod.
Mm-hmm.
But in Halo 4, all these things are in them, plus all the new weapons. The only one that I am sad about missing is the Needle Rifle, because I actually like that. It's like a DMR, but you could actually super combine someone with it. And I'm guessing it's out because of balance reasons.
Yeah.
Now that I think of it. But, in all the other multiplayer games, it was pretty much just all the UNSC weapons and occasionally there would be, a Covenant weapon in there. And nobody really picked them up because who cared? But now there's actual incentive to go around the map and pick them up and put them in your loadouts.
Yeah, and a lot of them are actually pretty good.
Yeah, it seems like it's tough to really... Nobody really uses the plasma pistol because let's be honest, it's tough to use. But just about every single weapon that's out there, somebody's using it.
Yeah.
Which is really cool and really interesting to see. So go ahead and pick another one.
It's easy for an average player to pick up. So if you're just like a casual gamer, you can just pick it up and you'll know how to play it just because it's the standard shooter controls. So just some Joe Schmo can just come pick it up, and they won't have a hard time learning the controls and figuring it out.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Halo has been notorious, at least in my eyes, as just being brutal. No matter how good you are, people who are amazing at the game will kill you all the time, every time. And it's hard to be able to jump into a game, and apparently the matchmaking has been set up to there's a certain threshold, whatever your rank is, you'll never meet someone of a certain rank of a certain time, but the game seems to have been set up, I've never gotten this into a Halo game. I've always been a casual multiplayer Halo guy, but I'm really super into it. They've made it, and I know people say that accessible is a dirty word and making your game out there so people who don't play it all the time can, but guess what? I play tons and tons of games, but this is the first Halo that I felt when I get into a match, I have a chance. I could win if I play right. And previous ones, especially Halo 3, every time I got into a match, I was terrified because I was just going to get stomped.
Yeah.
So, you want to talk about the game modes?
Sure. We play a lot of Regicide and SWAT.
Yes, and unfortunately, I didn't even realize this until I watched that video, that Regicide is the only free-for-all. kind of weird, but it's an accessibility thing. Again, if someone's in first place, you know, killing them gets you a ton of points. And actually adds another layer of strategy to it. We play a lot of Regicide, and neither of us want to be the king.
Until the last, like, few kills.
Yeah, until the very last few kills, and it makes it really interesting, and it makes it a lot of fun to play. Big Team Slayer has way more vehicles in it than Halo 3's and Halo Reach's Big Team Slayer had, and the Mantis is fun to use, and it's a heck of a thing to end up killing and taking down if the other team has one. And the main thing that people hate about Halo 4 is ordnance. Now, there's certain game modes that don't have ordnance. That being SWAT,
Regicide,
and Slayer Pro.
and I think the Flood game type.
Flood, yeah, but main Infinity Slayer and Big Team Slayer have ordnance. Now, a lot of people hate ordnance, and I'm going to tell you all why it's a good thing. If you get into a game and the other team is really, like, just crushing you, you know, they have a Mantis, they stole your Mantis, you know, they've got ghosts everywhere, they've camped out the map, and they have all the power weapons. And they can do this in the first 3 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Next 10 or so minutes, you stand no chance. All you can do is just stand there and take it. But if you throw in ordnance, if you take, you know, whatever your primary weapon is, I play Slayer with a battle rifle specifically. If I can get 3 kills, I can drop in some ordnance for myself. Like, let's say they have a Wraith and it's causing us a lot of trouble. Well, then I'll drop myself a Spartan Laser and then take the Wraith out. And now we're doing a little better because I did a little better.
Yeah.
It's not fun to play Halo against a team that knows where to go, knows the weapon spawns, knows where the weapons are going to be at all times.
My problem I see with ordnance is, like, you have to get kills to be able to get it. Like, if they just have you completely locked down and you can't get any kills, you're just out of the game for that duration of time.
Yeah, but no matter what, you can still get kills out there. It's very doable. My biggest thing with the ordnance is I always choose a weapon, unless I have a weapon that I picked up and then I want one of the bonuses. But, like, you know, you'll get a couple kills and your ordnance choice is a needler.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, you could do a lot better than that. And it sucks you can't choose what your ordnance drops are going to be. They're completely random. They seem to get less powerful as you access them. And I'm not quite sure at this point, like, what the formula is to figure that kind of thing out.
Yeah.
But that pretty much wraps up the reasons why Halo 4's multiplayer is good. And I know it's a staple of a video game review in a franchise to say, well, this is the best yet. It's the best single player yet. It's the best multiplayer yet. Well, this literally is the best the best multiplayer in a Halo game ever, and 343 did it in their first shot.
Yeah.
So, props to them. Since those are the reasons why Halo 4 is good, it's not perfect by any means.
Yeah.
Hopefully, things can be improved with updates. Like previous Halo games have, you know, Bungie put out updates that would, like, change maps and stuff, and weapon balance. They're pretty much some of the best at updating games, so, you know, you get to see how 343 is going to do. So, Logan, why don't you start us off with one of the reasons why Halo 4, things that are bad about the game.
A lot of the maps are the same in terms of, like, format. A lot of the main ones you play are SWAT and Regicide. So, like, we see the same 3 maps every single time. It's just like a circle with a structure in the middle that everyone fights at. And then
Yeah, it's like they whatever the amount of maps was, half of them work for some game modes, the other half work for the other ones. And there's no mix. And I understand why it's that way, but it seems like there should have been a lot more smaller ones. Because we pretty much play on what? Haven, Abandon, and
Adrift.
and that's pretty much it, because our favorite game modes, those are the only maps we want. And we could play Complex, but Complex is too big a map for the game modes that we like to play.
Yeah. And even with the DLC that they've come out with, they added more big maps.
Yeah, it seems like they've focused the multiplayer maps on the big team game modes or capture the flag and stuff like that, which kind of sucks. So hopefully, with the second map pack, which I don't, the name of, yeah, it doesn't even matter. Hopefully those will add in a lot more of the smaller maps. Speaking of big team games, it takes way too long to get into one. Getting into a small game takes only a couple seconds. To get into a big one can take up to 2 minutes.
Yeah, just because there's a sheer just amount of people that the game is trying to weed through.
Yeah, and he's sitting in your lobby looking at the same 8 people incoming, for that whole 2 minutes, and then you'll think you're actually sitting in a lobby where you can vote for a match, and it turns out it's just throwing you into one that's in progress.
Yeah. Which
is kind of shitty, so hopefully, they can... I don't know if there's a fix for that. I can't even think of one off the top of my head, but, that's something that could probably be worked on, something in the netcode. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's another one?
The bolt shot is a terrible weapon.
Tell me about the bolt shot.
It's a weapon that people use, and they'll wait around the corner, and you can charge up the weapon, and then when the person comes around the corner, you let it go, and it's an instant kill.
And it has more range than the shotgun and the scatter shot.
Wow.
Or, that's what people are saying, and certainly seems like it to me, because I've gone face-to-face with a bolt shot guy with a scatter shot and lost. The bolt shot is weird. Also, it's a secondary weapon, and it's a one-hit kill, which shouldn't be in a game ever.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah, it should be moved to a primary, or, they need to patch down the range on it. We call anyone who kills us with a bolt shot bitch. Because people who use it just play this terrible style, and it's one of the reasons why I actually love using the hologram.
Yeah, because you'll use it, and then, there's one laying around the corner.
Yeah, they chase my hologram, I kill them, we all have a good laugh, but it's really annoying to get killed by someone who's just camping in a corner. That's not how you play Halo, bro.
Yeah.
And if any of you are watching this and you use the bolt shot, stop.
Shame on you.
Yeah, use a real weapon. So going down the list of things that are bad with Halo 4, the kill cams are the worst. I'm guessing... I want to give Call of Duty 1 on PC credit for the very first kill cam. And the reason kill cams are good is you can, if you think you died bullshit, at least you can figure out how you died, or you could learn something. Like, see where they were standing and say, hey, that's actually a really good spot. Because I have learned some of that from Halo 4, but, you'll watch the kill cam, and someone is looking at the floor.
And they kill you.
And killed you, and you're like, well, that's not how it happened. It doesn't make any sense how they are just the worst kill cams. It's worse than the theater mode in, Modern Warfare 3, which is, notorious for being laggy and shit. It is the worst theater mode. Not theater. Kill cam in the history of video games. Ever.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if that one can be fixed either, but it needs to be. It doesn't ruin the experience, but it's really... Now you just instantly skip them. There's no reason to watch.
Yeah.
Not a single reason to watch a single one of them, so they should just take them out or figure something out, because how they are now, it just does not work.
Let's see. The game needs more game modes. Because right now, a lot of them are the same, and the ones that they do have that are more variety, like Dominion, which I think is King of the Hill, and Capture the Flag, they're just not fun. I know Halo Reach had Rocket Race and Griffball, and those were legitimately fun game modes.
Yeah, and they were added in later, so hopefully 343 gets on it. And like they added in Team Regicide, I'm guessing people requested that. I want Regicide SWAT, because it'll be like a 3-minute match. But yeah, I mean, this is a thing they could probably fix by adding in some more game modes. I mean, it's pretty simple stuff to just add in one, and they have the ability to do it because they've played with the playlists a number of times already. So hopefully they get onto that, because Rocket Race, I know a lot of people had fun with Rocket Race. I think that's a really fun one. I don't like Griffball too much, especially hate it because it has Rooster Teeth
tie-in.
Yeah, so extra shit on that. But that's, yeah, more game modes. Also, one that I wanted to bring up was the unpredictable weapon drops. Now, when you get into a game, you'll on your HUD you'll have where the weapons are, and it'll tell you how far you are away from them, which is really cool because it's a good way to learn the maps and where the locations are. Because previously you pretty much had to learn the hard way. But once you pick up, I believe the initial weapon spawns are static; they're the same every single time.
Yeah.
But as you progress through the match, the next wave will be something completely different. And I brought this up to you actually a number of times where. A weapon will drop, like the incineration cannon, which is the most powerful weapon in the game, will just drop in the middle of a match, and it's got like no business even being on that map.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? And sometimes, people are so quick to pick it up, you didn't even know it was there, it was coming. It just, some stuff like that is a small pet peeve. Like, playing Regicide on Haven, this happened to us the other day, and all of a sudden an incineration cannon. Like, what the hell?
Like, where did it even come from?
Yeah, like, it had to have dropped because he didn't call it in his ordinance, but it just didn't belong. That map starts with a scatter shot, a sticky detonator, a couple needlers, and some grenades. Like, it should just be those. Save the bigger ordnance for the bigger maps. Like, on a big team Slayer match, like, you definitely want an incineration cannon. But, like, you don't need it in Regicide, unless it's, there in the beginning. Like, there's that one map where it's in the beginning. So we've just got a couple more left. Go ahead and give me one.
You can't back out of a match, like, once you vote on the map you're gonna pick. And that's annoying, because if you need to go, like, back out, like if you have to leave, or if you have to go pick up someone else, like to join your game, you can't, because it just won't let you. The only alternative would be to like just dashboard and then do it.
Yeah, and I can understand why they put it in the game, but like we don't like to play complex. Screw complex. And I wouldn't back out if we wanted to play complex, but it's a weird thing that once you vote for a map, you can't back out of a lobby. It's a pretty strange thing that they put into the game. I don't quite understand it.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a second to talk about specializations. You start in the Mark IV Spartan suit.
Yeah.
And when you go to your specialization list, you may have them all there, you may only have 2, I don't really know. It's different for just about everybody. And the game doesn't tell you that you need to hit rank 50 before the second one, before you can move to the next one. It just says you need to complete the current one, and it'll tell you what your XP bar is to the next level. Then when you open them, when you can choose them, because you can only do one at a time, the explanation for what it is exists within the Halo canon, but doesn't tell you what it does for you. Like, each of them will give you some type of support upgrade and a skinned weapon as well as armor, and you don't know what the upgrades are until you choose it. And then when you choose it, it'll tell you what your option is, and then it's locked until you get towards the end of it. When you choose it, it should tell you like these are the things that you'll be working to while you play through the specialization.
Or at least tell you like this is like what kind of specialization it's going to be. Like it's going to be a stealth one, or something like that.
Yeah, like there's one that gives you extra XP at the end of the map. I don't know which one it is. I mean, I can choose from any one that I want, but reading the descriptions, it's not clear which one of them it is.
Yeah.
Which is really kind of stupid.
Also, something I want to talk about with specializations. When you first boot up the game, you only have the 2 to specializations. And what they did is they send you a code over Xbox Live to unlock the rest. But if you don't know that they're doing that, you always think you have those 2 options.
Yes, and actually what it was if you had to have played the game before December or something, and then they sent the codes out. So if you didn't play the game before then, like, you might be level locked at 70 right now, which is 50 plus the next 2 specializations, which is really crappy of them to have done. I don't understand the reasoning behind it.
I think it was probably something to do with the limited edition. They wanted to give them like a bonus, so they let them get all the specializations to fiddle around with.
Yeah, but then it was like if you didn't get the code, then you had to wait until a certain date. And you've had this problem where you actually have the limited edition, yet they weren't all available for you.
Yeah, I think it's a weird glitch with the system where it'll I have to go and like re-download it just to fix it.
Yeah, it's just a weird system they put in place. So we've got 2 left. Go ahead and pick one, and then I'll wrap us up here.
Let's see. The slow reveal of armor types.
Okay.
So you start out with like a base number of like armored permutations that you get to fiddle around with, and like as you get further in, you unlock more, and you also get them for unlocking challenges. But you have to get at least like 1% in a challenge to even know that that armored permutation exists.
Okay, so what you unlock is the ability to unlock an armor type.
Yes.
Which is insane. Like, you should be able from the beginning to see what the armor unlocks are so you can start to work towards them. What happens now is you start to work towards them not knowing that it will eventually unlock an armor until one match you finish. It's like, hey, new armor is available, and you're like, oh cool, I got new armor, but you go in there and look at the armor, it's like, no, you didn't finish the challenge, you just got a certain way through, and now we're telling you it exists.
Yeah, which is really annoying.
Which, again, just weird thing they put in place there. And I'm going to finish it out with the XP bar at the end of your matches. It doesn't tell you what your final total is. It'll tell you, your base score, and then, if you won, and then it'll count it all up. But if you completed a commendation or a challenge during the match, it'll then add that in, but not tell you what your final total is. So at the end of a match, let's say you need 15,000 XP to level up, but your post-match total is 3,000. So now you need 12,000 to level up, but you got 12,000 in commendations. So that 3,000 will stretch to the bottom of the bar because it's actually adding those in without telling you that it's adding them in. And this is a weird gripe because I would just like to see the total as it adds up, because it's like if I need 10,000 and it's telling me I got 11, I'll be like, yes, I'm gonna level up. But now it's kind of a surprise.
Yeah.
Which I don't like, and you wanted to bring this up, I guess I'll do it now, is, if you're using the double XP, whatever calculator they use to come up with that is wrong.
It is.
Where the hell do they get the numbers from?
No clue.
It no makes sense. Like, that's how little sense it makes. I can't even speak English properly.
Yeah, like, I just don't even get how they come up with it.
I used my full I drank a lot of Mountain Dew, finished out 200 matches of double XP, and couldn't figure out where the heck what number they were doubling. But hey, I guess I'll take it however I can get it, and I don't know what to say about it.
Yeah.
So those are the reasons why Halo 4 is good, and the good definitely outweighs the bad because the game is great. I mean, just speaking about the multiplayer, I mean, we're not even taking into account the campaign, which is outstanding.
It is.
It's really surprisingly outstanding.
And this is just the beginning.
Right, so hopefully, I mean, it could get better. It could always get better. Hopefully in Halo 5, or whatever they're going to call it, you know, instead of giving us 8 missions, you know, lengthen it out to like 14 or so. You don't have to make the game longer, just make the missions shorter.
Yeah.
Because this has been a problem since Halo 1. Like, the missions are so fucking long. Like, give me a break. Especially when you play co-op, because you can't save and quit in co-op. You have to either finish a level or you don't. And it's not right to get to the end of a level, and then someone has to leave, and then you just can't finish it until the next day, or what have you.
Yeah.
So that's about it. Big thumbs up.
Big thumbs up.
Put your thumbs through the roof for Halo 4, and a good job done by 343 Industries, and hopefully it'll only continue to improve in the future.
Yep.